We are seeing a convergence of what John Paul Jackson prophesied years ago, calling it the perfect storm.
That's right.
We are watching the perfect storm, yet the church hasn't waken up to the idea that we are living in the Revelation
him
times.
back, and he's in the grave, but I mean, he's up in heaven.
Yeah.
But
His prophecies
he
are-
said things that are happening right now.
Economically, we're on the verge of collapse. Food-wise, we're on the verge of collapse. Everything seems like what the Bible has warned us about in Matthew 24 is getting ready to manifest in a way that the church will be falling away because we are entertaining a message that is not the gospel anymore. Yet Jesus warned us in Matthew 24 that watch for these things to come. Then you fast forward to Revelation chapter 6 and 7, we are watching when nuclear talks is the headline of the day. One of the prophets said, you better wake up.
It's time to prepare now. The prophetic word says so. Here's the last video clip with Dr. Pry from 2020. Listen to what he is saying about China and Russia. He was a visionary in terms of being able to see what our enemy's plan could be even before they were set in motion. So watch this, please.
It might be the perfect time for an act of aggression against Taiwan, against the South China Sea, against NATO Europe, against Israel, to achieve the wildest dreams that the bad guys have. And one of the things that's also very disturbing to me is that we're already losing World War III. Because the highest value of nuclear weapons and the possibility of EMP attack is that it enables you to win without war. The Air Force isn't willing to admit it, and the White House wouldn't put it this way. But China, for example, has already won a great victory against the United States and the West without war. We pulled our most powerful military asset out of the island of Guam. We used to have a B-52 bomber wing with tankers in the island of Guam. But earlier this year, the Air Force quietly pulled our wing out and moved it back to Minot, North Dakota. They didn't say it was because they're afraid of North Korea or China launching missiles at Guam and destroying our forces, but that's the real reason they did it, okay? China is engaged in exercises now, and we didn't return the wing to Guam, but we did return it to Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean, because it's out of range of North Korea. That's an example of a great victory, that's happening. The Russians are achieving victory without war against NATO Europe. Angela Merkel in Germany hasn't been willing to increase Germany's investment in defense spending because they're afraid of Russia. Angela Merkel is trying to appease Russia by building that Baltic natural gas pipeline that will make Germany energy dependent upon Russia. That's one of the reasons. Now, President Trump hasn't said this, but I think it's one of the reasons President Trump has pulled 12,000 of our troops out of Germany, because he doesn't want Germany becoming a big POW camp for American forces. Because if Germany will not do its job and not hold up its share of their own defense, and if Germany makes itself dependent on Russian natural gas, all the Russians have to do is turn out the lights in Germany, and our troops become trapped there. So, they're already winning without war, and this rioting in our streets, these totalitarian moves, the betrayal of the Democratic Party, of the principles of constitutionalism and of the rule of law. The fact that the Democrat Party has basically become a force for totalitarianism. Along with our liberal mainstream media, these groups are all working together with the Antifa and Black Lives Matters on our street to try to undermine and overthrow our society.
Wow.
Really something.
That's the last time we had with Dr. Pry. I wonder what he would say today, Mondo.
I would say that his...
Told you so.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow,
Put it
right.
simple. I
Right.
told you so.
I told
Everything
you
that he's talking about during 2020, during that, is what you're watching on the headlines. China to send troops to Russia for joint military exercise.
Wow.
Listen, this is all playing out the way I believe he was God's watchman on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of the most brilliant, strategic minds of our time. And he's going to be sorely missed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He was a warner. He was really a prophet on the wall, I call him. And we have got to heed his word.